Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I was thinking of doing what I bought during my yarn ban. I was supposed to start this January to the end of the year with not buying any yarn, other than if I'm knitting a project and I didn't buy enough yarn, then I'm allowed to buy an extra ball of yarn, but not buying full projects that weren't, that just wasn't the plan. But I have done that, so I decided to show you guys what I have bought. Starting with the first one, this was probably the most expensive yarn purchase. When the Maggie cardigan came out, it's supposed to be knit in cashmere yarn. I was at work one day and saw this. Let's see if it focuses. It's Rico Design Essentials Cashmere Recycled DK. So it's 95% cashmere, 5% wool, and it's 25 grams, 75 or 70 meters. So it's not a lot, and it's pretty thick. But I am going to knit Maggie cardigan in this yarn. So I bought quite a bit. It was on sale online. I forget the website and I don't have my phone on me, so I cannot check. But I'm pretty sure it ended up being like a little bit over 1,000 kroner, which is not bad for cashmere. This originally was supposed to be 200 kroner, so like $20 US per ball. It sounds crazy when I say everything in US dollars. Norwegian kroner, I don't think that much about that. US dollars, I'm like, oh, I spent $10 per. But cashmere, it ended up being, I think, $10 per ball. So I spent 1,000 kroner, so 100 US dollars, a little bit over on cashmere, which I thought was a complete steal. And that's because the website had it on 50% off. Because this, I don't think they're making this anymore. I'm not entirely sure why, but it's this really pretty brown color. And as I said in my last video, I have a lot of projects that are, or like projects that I want to start on or have started on and haven't finished that are in graveyard land, I guess is what knitters call it. I just call it the basement, the knitting basement, my projects in the basement. I have a couple brown projects down in the basement, so that's why I thought that. But plus this will then be a brown project. We'll see. This I am hoping to put in my fall knitting plans. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but summer knitting plans has not really been happening for me. I was supposed to do an update video for you guys 2 weeks ago. I was thinking of pre-recording an updated video. I love wool. So those will get done at some point, guys. Don't worry. Not that you guys are worrying. But yeah, so this one. Maggie cardigan in cashmere. Another project. I was with my boyfriend's family on a trip. A couple days ago. We just got home. Yesterday we got home. And that yarn store where my boyfriend's mom is from, my boyfriend's mom's hometown has a knitting store that had yarn for 40% off. And I couldn't resist. Okay, guys? Couldn't resist. For starters, I wasn't going to go in there and buy anything. I was going to go and look. And I became good friends with the woman behind the counter who owns it. She's been running it for a really long time. But in this little town, there is a yarn store, and they were having 40% off yarn. So I was originally going in there not to buy anything. I had that mindset, but if you guys saw this, like it's a cute little store on the top. She does sewing and all this type of stuff too. But downstairs, first I'm talking to her and I'm like saying like how I wasn't really planning on buying a project, but I had been wanting Novice, the Novice cardigan, chunky edition, just to have like a super easy, like chunky cardigan. And I've been talking to my friend and I was telling her like, I'm thinking I want to do this as my next project. And she just starts laughing at me because I have so many projects that I want to do. She's like, you're never gonna have time. Anyway, back to the story. She was telling me how I should go for a light color, and I was like, oh. And then I saw this Me Too from Dermagarn. I'm gonna get back to the story after. But I have not seen this yarn before. I've seen a lot of Tumi, and I have Tumi. But this is just the thicker version in the exact same yarn quality. But this and silk mohair. Like, I have not seen this yarn in like a year or two. I like how it focuses on the other one, but not on this. There you go. So this is 280 meters, 50 grams. I believe I have enough yarn to make a Novice cardigan. But yeah, it's these two together. But back to the story. I was looking at this, right? And I'd been in her yarn shop the day before. I told her like, oh, I like noticed that you guys had some silk mohair downstairs, because on the first day we walk into the yarn store and I apologize for my bad storytelling, but we walk into the yarn store and it's like a small yarn store and she has like a sewing section up top and there's a door down to the basement. I wasn't expecting that we were going to be allowed to go behind the counter, sneak behind the counter. There's this like small little entrance, sneak behind the counter and go down the stairs. And the basement went on forever. Like the shop is so small, but the basement filled with like a bunch of plastic bins stuffed with yarn. And I instantly fell in love and I was like, okay, we're coming back another day and I'm not gonna buy yarn. I just have to look at everything she has. I was getting so giddy, but I was with my boyfriend and my boyfriend's little sister. And my boyfriend's little sister, she's interested in knitting. I've gotten her into knitting now, but she wasn't as excited as me. Like I was like, oh my god, like there's that there and that there. Either way, long story short, she found a bunch of mohair for me. Like she went into the back, far back through 6 different doors and brought me a bunch of mohair. And most importantly, for the next project, I've been wanting to knit a terrazzo sweater. The brown one that I have in one of my last videos that I've been knitting up, I want it in blue, if it will focus. So this is alpaca silk from Dermagarn, if it would even focus. No? Do I have to put my, oh, there it goes. Alpaca silk from Dermagarn. This is 65% baby alpaca, 10% extra fine merino, and 25% silk. This is going to be one of the 3 strands held in that sweater. My best friend is knitting one right now, and I really want one exactly like it. So I'm copying her, but I'm doing it in a, not with Isaga silk mohair, but alpaca silk. I think it'll be nice. But yeah, so she basically was just bringing a bunch more and more plastic bins to my attention, and that was dangerous. So the first day when I was there, I bought these. Cardigan and then 6 balls of these, and 40%, guys. This I can't find anymore. This I don't have at my knitting store. And neither do I have this, so that's how I made it. That's how I made it allowed that I could buy it. And there's no one holding me against this. My boyfriend's trying to make me not buy yarn because I have seen how much yarn I have. I've shoved it all in a big IKEA plastic bin and it's sitting in our basement. It's a lot of yarn, but I also have to find it with. I worked in a knitting store for 2.5 years in the US, and I've been working at a knitting store since. But yeah, that's me justifying this purchase. just before we were going to leave, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna knit an aftenpledd. And Raumagarn has this. I need to try and see if I can find a photo and see if I hold it up against the camera if it looks like that thing. I need that. Yes, I would never be finished with the like adult version because that's what that photo is. I'm trying to find how big it is, but then again, yeah, okay. 150 centimeters by 130. It's huge. But yeah, I am not knitting the big version. I am knitting the little version. And my boyfriend gets really embarrassed when I talk about this, but all of my friends are worse than me, so that's why I'm going to tell you guys. And if you guys make fun of me, just don't write it in the comment section. But I am going to knit the baby version. And no, I'm not planning on having kids in like anytime soon. But my boyfriend's brother, what does that make him? There's like a word for it in Norwegian. But yeah, he and his girlfriend are gonna have a kid at some point next year. If I am done in time is the only thing. They will be getting a baby blanket with these colors. And then instead of the light beige that I actually wanted, and I'm saying me as if like I'm the one getting this blanket, wanted that to be the base, but they didn't have that. So Axel and my boyfriend and his sister, now I'm using their real names, Axel and his sister were like, maybe this could work. So we went for this like yellow. I don't know why it won't focus. Like there's nothing else it can focus on, but it still wants to focus on me. Hello, camera. Okay, so you guys see it's like a little bit of like a yellowy, yeah, whatever. It's a good base color. The only thing I'm a little nervous about is that I have 3 balls that are in lammull. Because, sorry, the original blanket is supposed to be knit in finer fra Rauma. But since this was about at the same 40% off yarn store, there is a couple colors that they did not have in finer, so I bought them in lammull. It's a little bit thinner, but the person that's getting this blanket, or if I take way too long, I will be getting this blanket, and by the time it'll end up being done by the time in 10 years when I have kids. But point being, it'll probably be fine. Like if it's not, it's a blanket. It's not a sweater. Like it's not going to ruin anything. I hope. I'm kidding. It'll be fine. But yeah, so I have all of those colors: black, gray, green, like this dark purple. You obviously saw those. These bright colors. A like yellowy color that this thing keeps falling off. Green. And then the base. So that was that. And you guys are going to be like, oh, she has more. Yes, I do have more. I bought yarn a little bit ago for Flurry sweater by Ull Knitwear. And it's knit in Isaged Soft, EcoSoft. They've changed the name, but this sweater is supposed to be in, or she has hers in white and gray. I bought the yarn originally in this gray and a darker like brown gray. I really loved it when I was in the store buying it with my friend. I came home and tested a swatch of it. Guys, it was not what I wanted. It was not it. So I returned the yarn. And instead of spending the money there, because we do not have the yarn there, I bought online 1 extra ball of this because I didn't have enough. I only had 2 and 0.25, and that was not going to be enough if the pattern calls for 3, so I had to buy third. So now I have 3.25 at home. So we'll see what we use that to. But either way, then I bought 7 balls of this white EcoSoft. So it's going to be white sweater with gray details, and it's supposed to be held together with a mohair, I think is what it's in the original pattern. But I don't want to spend that money on the mohair, and I have leftover gray alpaca för lite, alpaca 2 fra Israel. So I'm going to reuse that, and then I just need to buy this when it comes into my local yarn shop. So that's everything I bought on my yarn ban. Yeah, I'm disappointed in myself, but it's okay. As long as I'm happy and I'm not broke, I'm okay. Anyways, okay, I fucked up the outro, so my boyfriend was just laughing at me, but I'm gonna try and do it again, and I'm gonna try and make it right this time. So I hope you guys have a great morning, evening, or night, and I will talk to you guys next Friday with a new video.